FLM, wide open thinking, world-class work, and far-reaching results. Now with locations in Minneapolis, Columbus, Indianapolis, and Washington, D.C. A strategic marketing and communications company dedicated to serving clients who specialize in the business of agriculture and the life of rural communities.
We're joined today by Brian Kemp, the president of the Iowa Soybean Association from Sibley, Iowa. Brian, thanks for joining us today.
It's good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about some of the big issues that are confronting soybean farmers in the Iowa Soybean Association in regards to this topic of big data.
Yes, one of the longer discussions that we had at our policy conference back in Iowa in December was the big data issue. And I have been part of the discussion down here at Commodity Classic with the Domestic and Farm Policy Committee. The issue, the broad issue is farmer ownership of the data. We have all invested heavily in the technology to gather the yield data and production data. And our concern is that data that we control or keep possession of that data once it gets out, we no longer have control of it. And for the most part, producers are concerned that they retain ownership of the data in the future.
Is this a little bit of a chicken or an egg situation whereby you want to control the data, but a lot of producers don't have the hard drive capacity or big servers to really manage some of the data? So who would be responsible for storing it, in your opinion, or who should be?
Essentially, it's not so much a storage issue. Many producers don't have the knowledge and the skills to manipulate the data, and since they do not know how to do it, they may turn it over to one of their service providers, possibly a seed dealer or a chemical company dealer, or possibly maybe their agronomist at the elevator. So the concern is after that happens, that it not go any farther, and that they be able to retain the data if they at some point in the future they want to get it back.
And do you foresee that there'll be some resolutions passed during your policy sessions on big data?
Yes, certainly. We had actually at our committee meeting, we had it was approached in kind of two different by two different directions. One was a very specific direction where the various concerns were outlined. Iowa's position on it is to approach it with a bigger, larger perspective. Let's take some time and look at the issues, decide what the issues are, see what we need to do as far as policy to protect the farmer. And I think the whole issue will look a lot different a year from now. It's kind of a new industry, and I think we're all just kind of trying to figure out what it is and where it's going.
Let's pivot to another issue that's been a big part of the discussion here at Commodity Classic, and that is the Farm Bill. It's been a long, hard battle, over 3 years in the making to get to this point, but now we have a Farm Bill with Secretary Vilsack talking about implementation. What's been the reaction from the Iowa Soybean Association members on the new commodity title and some of the other risk management options through crop insurance?
There are many of the provisions in the Farm Bill are provisions that we favor at the Iowa Soybean Association. The crop insurance certainly is one that will support soybean production. Direct payments are as we know, going away. We just kind of assumed that would happen. At the Iowa Soybean Association, we have invested heavily in research, in ag research, and as you know, in the past, the support from the federal government has been reduced on that. We were told this morning there will be some more support for research, and certainly when we as soybean producers can lever our checkoff money with federal money or even private money for research, that's certainly a good thing. And there are also provisions in the bill to for market access programs and support, export support. And since soybeans are a big export product for agriculture, we certainly are in favor of that.
Well, that's a great segue to our last area to explore, and that is trade. We've had the President in the State of the Union call for a trade promotion authority and to really lift up the possibilities of a new Trans-Pacific partnership as well as the Transatlantic Investment Partnership. What are your views on advancing the trade promotion authority or fast track for later this year in Congress?
Again, we're certainly in favor of that. Again, the Iowa Soybean Association invests a lot of resources in developing foreign markets. We are hard at work to build relationships, particularly in Southeast Asia with China. Philippines is one international relationship that we've worked very hard on. We're also working with Vietnam, Thailand. So certainly anything we can have that complements what we're doing with our activities with the Iowa Soybean Association is appreciated.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Brian.